Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video. We are gonna dive into the last 4 releases from Colourpop. I'm trying to keep up with Colourpop. We're gonna be diving into the collaboration with Alice in Wonderland and with the Legends of Korra. Plus we're gonna be having a peek at the new reformulations of the cream gel liners and the shadow sticks. And I'm gonna be creating a look with some of these things, and I'm just gonna be telling you about how I feel about the quality, how I feel about the color stories, how I feel about these releases, and we're just gonna have a little bit of fun while trying to catch up with Colourpop, because that's a job in of itself. And I am wearing a Colourpop Luxe lip oil today. I think I'm having some kind of a reaction with my lips. I just really wanted to have a lip oil on. So I hope you're okay with me not using any of the lip products. This one I bought myself. This one is in Local Time, and I'm also using the Colourpop liner in Cool BFF. These two I bought myself. I am a big lover of Colourpop and I buy a lot of stuff from Colourpop, but I also do receive things from Colourpop in PR. So all the things that we're going to be talking about today in today's episode, I did receive as PR, and I do receive, well, basically you receive a box a week because Colourpop usually have a release a week, and I've been very busy with launching my very own brand, which is Cinch Beauty. I have released a brush set, so I wasn't able to catch up with these releases, so we're doing it all today. And let's start with, what should we start with? Let's start with the latest one. I think this is the latest one, which is the Alice in Wonderland. So there's a bunch of things in this collection. There's a palette, there's some blushes, I think there are some shadow sticks that are over here. And there also is a lip mask. Let me actually talk about the lip mask first. This comes with a little spatula thing as well that's here somewhere. These lip masks from Colourpop, this one smells just very like cake batter, kind of a thingamajig. Honestly, they're pretty nice. I have a couple of these. I have the one that's a lip scrub, but it actually works as a lip mask as well. The one from Snow White, I really like it. So it smells like sweet apples. And then I have the honey one from the Winnie the Pooh collection. Really like that one as well. I think that these little lip things from Colourpop are usually pretty good value. They also have this thing, and I don't always love these little things that come in collections from Colourpop, but this is one of these brushes, and honestly, if you're going somewhere, bringing a little brush like this that also has a mirror in here, it's actually kind of smart. So this is also part of the collection, and I think that this is a fun little trinket for a collection like this that also has a purpose, because it's not always that these little trinkets have a purpose. Let me put it like that. The blushes have really pretty packaging, and I really like the powder blushes from Colourpop. I usually don't go for these kind of a matte blushes, but I think the Colourpop ones are the perfect amount of sheerness, so they actually look really pretty on the skin, but they also don't look too pigmented, so it's easy for me to layer something shimmery on top, because I always go for a shimmery blush. And I'm thinking today, let's actually start with that. I'm not even wearing a bronzer. Let me go get a Colourpop bronzer and just apply that, and then let's do the red one. I decided to scoot a little closer as well. This is the Super Shock bronzer in I'll Bet, and I'm just going to be putting a little bit of that around here. I really like this formula. I think it's a really good one. It does need a brush that's not too flimsy, because it is truly a cream formula, but I think it looks beautiful on. And like I said, some of these things are sent to me as PR, some of them I bought myself. This one I did buy myself, but the collections that I'm talking about is PR. And Colourpop did give me a code. My code is Angelica, and you can use that on the Colourpop website and save some money off your order. It doesn't always work on bundles, and it doesn't always work on the newest collections. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's the same with all codes at Colourpop. You just basically have to, like, it's a trial and error kind of a situation. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Now let's do this one that's called Silence. Ooh! I do love a red blush. This one is maybe more pigmented than the red blush that I love, you know, from the... This is me rethinking my life choices. You know, the one that I've been raving about from the... what is it called? The High School Musical collection. Oh, I love that. And I think I love that one more than this one, because this one is more pigmented than that one. This one is a little bit less forgiving. I'm gonna go over it with my powder brush and just buff it in. This one is a little bit more unforgiving than that one, and the other one also has a warmer undertone, and I have a little bit of a warmth in my skin undertone, so for me I prefer a blush that has a little warmth in it, especially if it's something that as bright as this, because it makes it easier to, you know, make it blend into my skin. But I think I was able to make that work. I will be using the palette as well. This is the Lost in Wonderland. I'm fairly sure that this palette is $22. With the collab palette that Colourpop has, they're usually $1 or $2, something like that, dollars, or maybe even more. I don't know. They're a couple more dollars more expensive than had this 12-pan palette been if it hadn't been a collab. So you're paying a little bit extra for the collab. I prefer that, and keeping the quality over keeping the same price but lowering the quality, which is what some brands do sometimes with collabs, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to pay the collaborator. I kind of prefer that they just add a couple of dollars to the price and I get the same quality, hopefully, than I have from before. I actually really like the color story of this one, and when I swatched it, there was a couple of shades here that made me go, oh, I am intrigued by that one. I really am intrigued by that one. And there are some lip products in this collection as well. And here, as I said, I will be showing you some close-ups of these. There are 2 different lip sets, but I won't be using them on my lips. And I actually don't think I'll be swatching them either, just because I have so many lip products from Colourpop, and I have so many lip products from Colourpop that I really, really, really love. So instead, I'm gonna be giving this away to someone that can get better use of it. Maybe an influencer friend, maybe I'll give it to one of you as a giveaway, maybe I'll give it to one of my neighbors. I have very fortunate to have neighbors here around me that really, really love beauty and makeup. And I also have a neighbor that works with transgender youth, and she also have been getting some makeup from me that she's been bringing to work and giving to the youth that she's been working with. So I really try to not use makeup for no obvious reason, so I hope you're okay with me not showing you any of these like lip products, because something, again, with my lips, they're hurting. I think I had some kind of reaction. I don't know what's going on. Colourpop did reformulate, and I have all the other ones here. They reformulated their shadow sticks, and I hadn't been able to try them. They sent me all of them, and I don't want to swatch all of them because I don't need all of them, but there is no secret. I have made absolutely no secret about the fact that I really didn't like this formula. I literally made a video of like what to avoid from Colourpop, and I mentioned the shadow sticks, and they have reformulated them. And when I swatched them, it's like day and night, because when you swatch the old formula, it was tuggy and waxy and almost a little bit, I don't want to say patchy, but it didn't glide. And when I swatched these from the Alice in Wonderland, and I swatched 2 of the shades from the permanent collection, I swatched the shimmer and I swatched the matte, just to make sure that they're the same kind of formula. They are night and day. So we're definitely going to have to try one of these in today's video to see how they are. And when I swatched this orange one that is in, what is this one called? It's called Friday Feels. I love how this swatched. It was beautiful, and I cannot believe how excited I was by the fact to be using a crayon. So this one I'm going to use somewhere else, maybe in a reel or something. This one together with the Orange You Glad palette, I cannot wait to be trying that one out. So definitely we're doing something with that. Then there is the Legend of Korra collection, and there is a bunch of things in that collection as well. And one of the things that we're going to start with using is this Super Shock highlighter. I don't love this packaging. It's kind of bulky, and it's a shame because I don't have it on the floor. The paper packaging of this one is so cute, and then it's this, I really wish that they would just do the cardboard. Just please do the cardboard. Imagine how cute they could have made this. I despise this packaging from Colourpop, and I wish that they would stop. This one is called Spirit Wilds. I, just from swatching this, it seemed like this could be a little bit sparkly. I do love the Super Shock formula, so I might be wrong. No, this is definitely a little bit sparkly. If you don't like a sparkly highlighter, this will not be for you. Colourpop has a lot of really good Super Shock formulas or Super Shock colors that is more like lit from within, more like non-sparkly, just a glow. This one is a little bit more, you know, you can see it on the face. It's a little bit visible. Still a great formula, but just know that this one definitely has visible sparkles. So if you don't like that, this one isn't for you. Looks cute on the skin though, and it worked really good with that slightly cool toned red, so not mad about that. In that collection, there is also this palette, which is the Legends of Korra palette. I love the series Legends of Korra, and I'm so excited that they came back and showed us this palette. Actually, after the swatches, I'll show you a side-by-side by this one and the Avatar The Last Airbender palette, because they're in the same universe. Korra is literally the next Avatar, and I just find it very fascinating for them to bring out two palettes that are initially very similar, but when you hold them side by side, they're not dupes. The only ones where I feel like they're a little bit similar is maybe the more neutral red tones, but also it can be hard sometimes to make those be totally different and still make sense in the theme, so I get it. I really like that they were able to bring in more blues and more greens as well, and this like yellow one here is beautiful. I also really like that they have Future Industries here. Is that same like sparkly marbled black base like Super Shock shadow as they had in the big Star Wars palette. I'm super excited about that one, and I want to do something with mixing these two palettes together plus using one of those shadow sticks. Swatching this one swatched amazingly, and this one swatched good as well, but this one swatched exactly as amazingly as the Avatar The Last Airbender palette, which was an amazing palette. Really good Colourpop palette, and I'm super excited to be trying this one out. Where am I supposed to fit all of this? In this collection again, there are two lippies. These are the lip cremes, Fresh Kiss lip cremes. I don't like this formula. I think this formula travels. If you have fine lines around your lips, which I do, I'm 39, it happens with time. These travel all over my face. I don't like how they feel. When you smush your lips together, it becomes patchy. I think it's a finicky formula that I don't like how it looks, and I don't like how it wears. And there's also some liquid liners, these dip liners. I didn't swatch these because I don't know if I'm going to be using them or if I'm going to be giving them away. It is a blue one and it is like a reddish brown one. Again, I don't really be wasting stuff if I don't need to. My experience with these dip liners is that they're not all are created equal. Some are great, some are so-so, and that's why I don't know if I want to be using it or not. And then the last thing that we're going to be talking about is, of course, the multichrome shadows. These multichrome shadows, they created quite the buzzity buzz, and when I saw them first, I thought like, ooh, I don't know if these are going to be it. I will say, these are definitely toppers. These are not 100% black base. They will not cover your skin with just one thin layer. And if you layer them up, I've heard from others that they become a little heavy on the eyes. Don't layer these over another liquid unless that liquid has 100% set. Because if you layer a liquid over liquid, they're going to blend together and they're going to create a paste. If you want to totally utilize the shift in these without making them sheer, layer them over a matte or something that has set, that is in the tone that you want to accentuate. A green matte, a red matte, a blue matte, a black. A black is gonna always accentuate this better. I don't know 100% if I will have time to be using these in today's video. I will maybe try and use a little of it. I will say Colourpop is, when you're watching this video, tomorrow, Colourpop are releasing more liquid multichrome. So if you're interested in those, they're releasing tomorrow at Colourpop. And like I said, you can use a code and get some money off. I will leave a link to that down below because they've already announced that they're releasing them. So initial impression with these, you might need to layer them, but make sure that you layer them over something that's set dry. I'm going to be doing a little bit of eye primer. I also have the cream gel liners, and we'll talk about those when we get there. Okay, I want to do something that's green, mint, blue, something like that, because I want to be using this shadow stick. The one that's like the shimmery green and maybe with the mint. I don't know. I have ideas, I have thoughts of what I will be able to do. Okay, so I'm looking at these palettes and I feel like the two palettes both have a blue. But I don't know if you can see, this is the blue from the Korra palette and it is more pigmented, and I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. I think actually what I'm gonna start with is change this one here, and then I'm gonna blend it out with this one. And I wanna use some of these shades, the more minty shades. I wanna use that maybe on the inner part. I think that's my plan. And I'm gonna be using my own brushes with Cinch, and this is Change. And I'm just gonna pop, oh, that is beautiful. I'm just gonna pop that out here. Oh, what a wonderfully opaque shade. I still have not had Ricardo help me with my chair, but squeaky chair, the return, or maybe like episode 2. I don't know. That is so beautiful. I want to keep this on the lighter side. I say as I'm pounding on a lot of blue, but I think I'm just gonna keep this out here like that. And then I'm just gonna be using the pastels because I want this to be bright and light, but just a little bit of darkness out here. Whoever is working with the quality of the Avatar The Last Airbender series for Colourpop deserves a raise. So this is the water bending, and I am gonna put that on the side. Oh, what a beautiful shade. And then buffing out the edge over here. This is the EO2, by the way. This is what I mean when I'm not striving to make this look super dark. I just needed to have something dark out here. So now with the EO4, I'm going to be using the shade from the Alice palette that is called Mad Tea Party, which is, look at this nail still. Again, how much do you think that hurt? A lot. Some people have said that if they use this as a shimmer for shimmer shadow. For me, this is just super poofy. I've never used, I would never use something like this for a shimmer shadow. And I've heard someone say that they think that these are the same. I find that fascinating how different we watch like brushes, and we look at a brush and we think at what we can use it. So this one is made to pick up product on the flat side, and this one is meant to blend on the buffy side, like the poofy side. So I just find it so interesting how we look at different brushes and just like decide, oh, this is what this brush is made for. And I find I get so many tips and tricks from other YouTubers, from you, from just reading comments. And maybe I need to try and see if I can use this. Like, would you put it on like this then? Because yeah, it's fascinating. Because for me, this is a packing and blending on brush with precision. That's how I would use this one, the EO4. Because this one is tapered on the poofy side at the end, to like blend and disperse product when you blend it like this, and this one is tapered on the bristles here so that it picks up more on the flat side. But I need to try this one for like some shimmers or like packing on as well, because I do pack on with this one, but on the tip, just the tip. I think I'm going to be doing earthbending, which is this more like darker green. I am going to be using the EO1, but I use it on the side. And for me, when I use it on the side, it's like a pencil brush for me because of the cut. So I think I'm going to put this on the lower lash line. Like that. Because I want to put some of the shimmer. Which one do I want to have? Because this one, have you seen this one? It's so pretty. You can even see here. Yeah, the green shimmer. Maybe I'll do this green all the way in, and I'll cover half of it with that shimmer. How about that? So I'm gonna spray the end game, and let's see if we can put it here on the inner half. Oh, that is so pretty. This is definitely like a light green topper without being too lime. Like I don't feel like it's a lime. There's no yellow in here, at least not what I can see right here, but just such a nice green topper. That is beautiful. I am really liking how that is looking, and what I want to do, because I really want to try out this stick. This one is in Care for Tea, question mark. So I kind of want to just put this on. I really like how this went on when I swatched it, and I feel like it's going on pretty good here too. And I'm gonna be using, where did I put it? Here, the EO4 to just blend this into the crease a little bit and just buff. That is like a sheer layer. I didn't really like build it up, but it's definitely looking pretty. But like when I build it up, you can see it's way more shimmery, but like I did buff it in and that takes away a little bit of the shimmer. Like you can see it way more here before I start buffing. But I want to use it as like a little layer. Honestly, it could look really cute like this, but I really want to use that cute shade from here. It is called Stark Raving Mad. I'm starting to wonder if I ever saw this movie. Did I ever see this movie? Because like, now I'm starting to wonder. I'm picking it up with the EO1 and I am going to put that on the middle of the lid, not in the inner corner. And as you can tell, I'm not spraying it right now. I'm just putting that on the crayon with a somewhat similar shade. That one looks really pretty. What should we do? Should we do the blue one? The Rebel Spirit? This one? Is that gonna be the right one? Or do I want to do this that's almost like a little, like it's like a pressed glitter almost? Maybe we'll try that one. And I'm doing the EO1 again, and I'm picking up, oof, I wonder how this is gonna be. I'm picking up some of that. Oh, that's actually kind of cute. I'm not usually the biggest fan of pressed glitters, but I will say Colourpop has been reformulating their pressed glitters too, and they are a little easier to work with since they did that, and they're like not as crusty. Should we do the prance? Let me get the liners because I have them here. You know that I have been the absolute biggest fan in the world of the prance liner since I want to say 6 years ago, and they have re-released it. For the longest time it was discontinued, it was no longer available, and then they brought it back in a set, but now they have reformulated and re-released their liners, and I swatched this one next to my old prance. Mind you that my old prance is very old. I have 2 prance, both of them almost used up, and this one swatched so much better, like the new one. It swatched so much better. That could also be that it's new. I don't know. I've always loved prance. I can still use the old one, but I could really tell that like this one is better. If that is age, I don't know what that is, but it definitely swatched better. So we're gonna use this one. It says that they are waterproof now. I never had a problem with prance lasting on me. With that being said, I don't have super watery eyes except when it's allergy season. When it's allergy seasons, my eyes do water a lot, but if it's not allergy season, honestly, I do not have a problem with that. But prance has always been really good on me. And I mean, I think that looks amazing. They are the exact same color, and I'm very excited that prance is back. I'm very excited overall, and I do hope, because prance was always good, I do hope that now all colors are good and not just some of them. But these are available now. I think the shadow sticks are $8 each, and I think that these are $7 each. And these for sure you can use a code on if you want to save some money. Maybe not the bundles like this one, but definitely the singles. I feel like my hair is like really behaving today, and I am excited about it looking like this. It's looking like this. Okay, I like, honestly, all of this. The only thing that led me to be like, ooh, was that I thought that this was gonna be as pigmented as the blush from the High School Musical, and honestly, it might be, but this is just leaning more cool toned. It has a little bit more of a almost, I don't want to say blue, but like it is definitely not as warm toned as the one from the High School Musical. So if you had been looking for that one and you were like, it looks a little bit too warm for me, this might be for you. I feel like a red blush can be really beautiful, but I prefer something that's leaning a little bit more warm or is a little bit more sheer on my skin tone. But I mean, I was able to put it on, I was able to blend it out, and it looks really beautiful. The highlighter also, I think I wouldn't have, I don't dislike it, but it's not my favorite. I think the packaging is literally 90% off that. I wish it came in this packaging instead. Can we just give up on that plastic packaging? I'm guessing they have a lot and they need to put like some product in it to just get rid of it, but I really just wish that we would have no more of that packaging. I don't like it. I want everything to be this kind of a cardboard packaging. Absolutely love it. I've only like swatched these palettes and like used a couple of these shades, but I will say just from swatching them, I feel like both of them feel very nice. This is more my color story because it has more dark shades to choose from, and it just is a little bit more well-rounded in my opinion. But I do love the matte shades that Colourpop does, and I do love the color story of this palette, especially that there is a black. And I will say this shade right here that is called Lose Something, it is a metallic, so it is this color of a metallic, almost like a reddish purpley wine, but it has blue sparkles in it, and it is such an interesting shade, and I cannot wait to wear it. And I will say the shadow sticks and the liners, I am extremely excited about the cream gel liners. They are absolutely beautiful, and I will get a lot of use out of those because I love color liners, and I have loved the Colourpop liners for years and years. The big problem was that, first of all, not all of them were created equal. Some were just plain out like bad. Like Sulu, mine was trash. It was like an actual piece of plastic. I had to throw it out. It was not good. And also the shadow sticks, like the old shadow sticks, they weren't any good. And I cannot wait to play around a little bit more with these and see how I feel about them. See if they can be used on their own, maybe like a one shadow look. Like I want to play around a little bit with it because I feel like it has potential. These lip products that came out in these collections are neither my favorite formulas from Colourpop or my favorite colors from Colourpop. So I think that these are just not for me, which is totally fine. Not everything is made for me. And I just will say I haven't used these on my eyes, but I have used a lot of multichromes. I have been using multichromes since multichromes started being popular within the indie community, and I have been saying for years and years and years that just you wait, it's gonna come to the mainstream. And this is what happens when it comes to mainstream. In order to make it even the slightest bit profitable, it cannot be as pigmented and as smooth and as bam in your face as indie brands, because they have different margins when it comes to brands that are sold at like Ulta and Sephora and like that have, it's a different ballpark. Let me just put it like that. It's a different ballpark. They just have to formulate it a little bit different. These are sheer, and I wouldn't say that they're necessarily buildable, but if you were to use these, apply a sheer layer over a colored base or apply them over your skin and just accept that they're not 100% opaque, which is also totally fine. But if you want to have, for example, this color all over your lid, and this is like a blue green to a gold, decide what color you want to be the prominent color, put that all over your lid, put this one on top, and call it a day. That would be my best tip. But I hope you liked this video. Please let me know if you would like to see something like this in the future, just me trying to keep up with Colourpop, or if you prefer seeing different videos, because I feel like I have been using Colourpop since before they started shipping to Europe. Back in the days when they only shipped to the US, I have been using Colourpop since then because I shipped to my US PO box and shipped it to Sweden. So I am very familiar with the brand and I'm very familiar with their formulas. So I feel like I can give you some insights of what is good, what they can do better, what has improved, and all of that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow for a new video. Bye!